Welcome to another special edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, and in studio with us, the fellas from the Salvation Army. We're going to talk about what they are here for in just a moment. But first, this from Hometown Motors Incorporated.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe, hometown-motors.com. We have with us a couple of fellows who have had some life changes here recently. You used to be a lieutenant. Now you are Captain.
Yes.
Travis Payne from the Salvation Army. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Ricky Cook still is the youth minister?
Yes, youth ministries coordinator.
But now you've got a partner in tow now. You're married.
Yes, I am. I have an
Congratulations.
official boss now, as I like to say.
Flash that ring, man.
Right?
You got an official told you person.
Exactly.
Well, of course, here it is. We're talking at the tail end of October here. We're getting ready to go into the Kettle Bell Charities time of the year for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The Kettle Bells, Red Kettle, as we call it, is the busiest time of the year for Salvation Army officers, but it is also our largest fundraising effort. So if you ever go out to your retail stores and you see the stand with the person ringing the bell next to them, they got the red apron on, that is how we bring in funds really to operate our core facilities. So usually kicks off right around, people think it starts in October, but for us, the kettle season really kicks off in August. We start getting emails and inundated with a lot of the procedures and things that go into that during the month of August, and then we kind of really start getting into it in October, late September, October, and then we start in November. So, yeah.
We've not really had this discussion before, but I'm going to ask. So if I'm asking correctly, just give me a nudge here. But the monies that are raised, do they stay here locally?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what some people may be misconstrued on.
Yeah. So the monies that are raised for kettles, they go to really serving and operating your local Salvation Army facility. So, for example, the monies that are raised in Lancaster, Ohio, they stay within the city of Lancaster. Same with Portsmouth, same with Cincinnati, Columbus, and the same here with Chillicothe. The monies that are raised here, they're processed here. They go into the local bank here, and they're used to run our facility. There's a portion of that goes in to help run the programs that we do for the children, which is where Ricky comes into, and a portion of those monies is also designated to our social service efforts, helping people with things like utilities, their rental assistance, but really it also helps us keep the lights on in the facility because, we do a laundry service, we do a shower program where people can come in and take showers during the day, they can come in and do their laundry during the day, so, we've got to be able as a nonprofit to pay those bills to keep the water on, and so Kettles really goes a long way into helping us do that.
When I first got involved with Salvation Army here in town, it's probably been 15, 20 years ago, I failed to realize that you're a church.
Yes.
And I think some people don't realize that.
Yeah. For the Salvation Army, a lot of what we do, our social services kind of gets pushed to the forefront because we do a lot of that and we try our very best to do it well. Says our slogan, doing the most good. We try to do it to the best of our abilities. But yes, we are a church as well. We have church services on Sundays. For us here locally, our Sunday school starts at 10:45 or 9:45. Our church service starts at 10:45. So I myself, as the officer, I have many hats. We as officers wear many hats. So we can be the janitor, we can be the administrator, we can be the property manager, but we're also the pastor. And so on Sundays, I myself, and even recently, Ricky, we will bring the word. We'll share time with our congregation, and our congregation is involved in many of the programs that Salvation Army officers do as well. So. Yeah.
And Ricky, I know that you've gotten out into the community. You've met with these kids, and
yes.
Ricky's kind of one of those cool guys. So that is the first thing that kind of probably brings their attention to you. But then they get more involved. I mean, you're singing choir and the whole bunch. You give things for the kids to do in the afternoons.
Yes, so we have a few different programs we do for the kids, and I just wanted to say I love going out in the community and meeting some of the kids. It's just so fun and so enjoyable to meet people from different backgrounds, from different races, ethnicities, everything in between. It's just so unique to get the different perspectives from different kids. But yes, we do a lot of programs at the church. We do a music program where I teach the kids how to play the drums. Don't ask me to play anything but the drums. I am simply just a drummer. I don't do anything but drums, but we teach music theory and percussion. We also have a gaming club we just started up. So we have a video game club. We have ping pong and pool. It's designed to be this ultimate hangout kind of vibe, and it's really awesome. We also have our youth group. So that's, our Bible study, and then some kind of hour of me dragging them through some kind of activity. And then aside from that, we do other divisional events with local Salvation Armies just to have, that togetherness and congruence.
Yeah. So. And I think one of the things that people don't realize is you can have fun and be a Christian.
Yes.
You don't have to be out there doing drugs and all the party scene and everything. And you're putting a positive message in the hearts of these kids.
And that's really what we wanted to do. And I think what Ricky and I have is the ability to be two younger guys that are really leading this Salvation Army and allowing children to see that, being a Christian can be fun. It's not about, what we can't do, about what we're not allowed to do, about, what the Bible says not to do, but it's allowing yourself to have freedom and fun while serving the Lord and just being a good steward with what you have and allowing him to guide your paths, right? And so, hey, you can be a Christian and still play video games, you can be a Christian and play drums. You can be a Christian musician. All of these things you can do. And the great thing is that we don't really force them. Like I said, our video game time, we have a half an hour after the video game time designated to a devotional and time of learning, and they're welcome to stay for that. They're also welcome to leave. We believe that the Lord does not force us to believe in him. He gives us free will. And so we also want to impart that free will. Hey, if you want to learn more about God and about what and why we believe and why we do what we do, you're more than welcome to stick around. And if not, then you feel free to leave. And over the last few months, or really the last couple years, rather, we've had a few, one in particular that I'm thinking about, and I know you're thinking of him too. He's really been on this faith journey, and not quite sure where he sits yet, but he's been willing to go along with us to different events and different Bible studies and things just to kind of soak up and learn, and he asks questions. And so he'll sit Ricky and I down and say, well, why did they do it this way? Or why did they talk about this? Or why do we have a worship time? Why are we singing songs? Just basic questions like that. And we can answer that and say, well, this is, and so he's become a sponge in a sense, really soaking that up. And it's been really incredible to watch.
I know I was speaking to my Sunday school teens this past Sunday that, it's not supposed to make sense. You can't wrap your brain around faith. And once you get your heart wrapped around faith, that's where things really start to change.
Right. We always tell people it's more of a relationship, right, with Christ. When you allow him to take root in your heart and begin to make the necessary changes. And, people who are intimidated by the faith, I tell them, I've been a Christian since I was 13, however, I didn't always live right. I didn't always live like it. I fell off of that train a while, but because of God's grace and mercy and love, I was able to hop back on board of that and try again. But, it's one of those things where you can read the Bible, time and time again. There are Bible scholars, there are people who have been Christians way longer than myself. And I say, we're not going to understand every single thing about Christianity. There's not enough time on this planet or in our lives. And I tell that to my congregation because I said, just as I'm up here preaching to you, you have that same authority as well. And you can speak to others about Jesus. It's not just me as a pastor or a leader. You also can speak to others about the love of Christ.
Absolutely. We've kind of strayed away from the kettle talk here for a moment, and I took you down the wrong road there. But not the wrong road, but the right road to learn more about it. But back on the kettles, you hire people to ring bells, but you also have people from civic groups that help out as well on volunteer basis.
Yeah. So we encourage both. For some people, it's a great seasonal job for them. We've had kettle workers who have come who just say, I really want to work so that I can have some extra money to put aside for Christmas gifts, or a little extra money to do this or that with. We understand that we're a nonprofit, so we can't really afford to be competitive with, maybe what McDonald's offers to pay, but, it's a little something that can get you through this season, this Christmas season. It's a paycheck to where, you can go out and do something good and fulfilling, like assisting the Salvation Army, bringing in funds, but you can also be taken care of. But then also, for the ones who want to volunteer, when you work, you have a schedule, there's a shift and you're expected to be there for that shift. But maybe you want to say, well, I just want to do 2 hours on a Wednesday. I just want to do, maybe 3 hours on a Saturday at a Walmart. Well, then that allows you to do that. You can come out. And for us, which is really awesome is actually when we have volunteer groups go out, we tend to make more because they're enthusiastic, they're lively, they love to, they come out in big groups. And whenever there's a child at the kettle stand ringing the bell, that really just tugs on the heartstrings. And so they'll come out there in their Santa hat and stuff. And Ricky himself has taken out the youth group last year, and he's very enthusiastic about Christmas. And so certain stores will even let us play some music. We had the Freemasons really came along the last 2 years and really helped us get to our kettle goal. And I'm going to shout him out because he's been a huge name, but Mike Himes, he would stand out the kettle and sing. Yes. And so then anytime any other kettle...
He can sing.
Yes. And anytime any other kettle worker would go to a stand, like, where's that fella that sings? And
Mike.
so, like, Mike, they're calling for you, man. They need you. So he's, and he's just, he embodies that cheerful spirit. He embodies what it means to be a kettle worker at the stand, cheerful, smiling, greeting people, and really just spreading that holiday cheer. You can tell it flows through him naturally.
So when you leave your car from the parking lot, you're walking to the store, you can hear the bell ringing. Mm-hmm. Don't give it one of those, I got to reach in my pocket. Go ahead and reach in there. Put some money in there. Now, and the kettle ringers, they don't handle the cash.
No.
You have to put that money in the bucket there. But this is what you're funding, and it stays right here.
Yes.
Do you have all of your assignments at this point in time where you will be with your bells, or are there opportunities if someone is a store owner and say, hey, we'd like to have you guys at our place?
Yeah. There are a few kettle locations that for us are what we call national agreements. So those are the Walmarts, the Krogers, the Sam's Clubs, a few other state-specific or area-specific grocery stores. So those are every year. And in fact, Walmart this year was gracious enough to allow us to stand an extra week. So we will be starting kettles on November 16th at our Walmarts, and we'll be standing at the Walmart in Chillicothe, the Walmart in Circleville, and the Walmart in Washington Courthouse as well. So we'll be standing there, and then Kroger's and the rest of our kettle locations, as well as Sam's Club. Those will be starting November 23rd, so the following weekend. But typically we do, for our kettle workers, we do 8-hour shifts, so we'll stand from 10 to 7. But if you're volunteering, you're allowed to, pick whatever time slot works for you. If you can only stand for an hour, that's great. If you want to stand for 5, more power to you. Whatever you are willing to help with goes a long way, and us being able to reach our goal. And if I can say, our goal this year is $50,000. That's what we're trying to raise through the kettle season. That's what we've calculated that we need to be able to, really keep everything going for the next fiscal year, but as well as be able, like I said, to help the community that comes into our doors each and every day.
So how do we reach you if we want to participate?
So you can email me, which is travis.payne@use.salvationarmy.org. It's a very long email. Or you can reach us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. It's at the Chillicothe Salvation Army. You can message us on there. That's typically the quickest way that we get anyone that's interested. Or you can call our office number,
which is 740-774-2760.
Yes, I always forget our office number for some reason. I'm terrible at memorizing numbers.
If we've gone too fast with this information for you, we'll put it in the post so they'll be able to see that as well. So.
Yes, and then currently we are also setting up a Register to Ring website, which is registertoring.com. You can go on there. There'll be shifts uploaded, and you can just kind of go on there, click your shift, click where you want to stand, and that information will get shared with me as well. So there's many ways to reach out to us to let us know that you want to work or you want to volunteer. But yeah, and I also wanted to add that it also goes towards summer camp as well. We have our summer camp that we send children to in the summertime, which is where we have had a lot of our kids kind of come from this year, from this past summer camp. And there's a fee to send your kids to camp, but we usually try not to charge the parents because we believe that every child should have an experience at camp. Both of us are camp kids. Both of us are, myself am a Christian because of camp. I'm a Salvation Army officer because of camp. So any chance and opportunity that I will get to plug camp or send kids to camp, I will take. So
now we've not mentioned, is it 171 4th Street?
East 4th Street.
East 4th Street is where you'll find the Salvation Army here in Chillicothe. And these two guys, they're big city kids who came to rural America here, and Cincinnati and Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are two cities that don't get along always. But these two guys do.
And the Steelers just won last night.
Calm down.
I saw some of that last night as well.
Unfortunately, right?
Browns fan, sorry.
Oh, this is a rough table.
It's been a rough season so far.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
We'll get it through. Jameis will lead us to the promised land.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for coming in. And again, the contact information we'll have in the post here. If it's not already in there, Aaron will get that taken care of to make sure that everyone knows.
Can I plug one more thing?
Absolutely.
If that's okay. So we have our Angel Tree program also that we do every year. And if you're not sure what that is where we have clients that come in from the community that sign up with us to receive toys for Christmas. And so what we do is we take those clients, we put them on a tag, which we call an Angel Tree tag. We don't include the last name, we just use the first name, and what their child has asked for Christmas. It's usually up to 3 gifts. And so we take those tags and we'll put them at Walmart. Some of the restaurants in town will take it. We actually have a really good connection with the Steak and Shake in town. So they'll take some. Last year we had some out at Applebee's. I believe we had some at Texas Roadhouse, Sam's Club. And so what someone will do is they'll take that Angel Tree tag and they'll shop for that kid. And then they'll bring those toys to us, to the Salvation Army. And on December 16th, we do our toy distribution. And I just want to, if anyone's worried or has any questions, we make sure that whatever they've asked for, they receive. So that toy, it's not randomized, it's not just picked, it's not just thrown together. We take the extra time, the extra mile to make sure that what each child has asked for is what they receive, or at least something close to that. We have a very generous community. We've never had to worry about any shortage of toys. Praise the Lord. But if you see those Angel Tree tags out this Christmas season, which you will, if you feel led, go and shop for a child. It means the most to them. It's going to make their Christmas. We've been able, I'm getting a little choked up thinking about it, but we've been able to put a lot of smiles on kids and families' faces these last few years, and just the kids are not there when the toys are picked up. The parents are, but just seeing the gratitude wash over the parents' face, knowing that they'll be able to have a good Christmas morning. We know Christmas is about the risen, Jesus, our Savior. But for kids, toys is everything. So to be able to have that family moment and know that we could help provide that in some way because of the generosity of the community is such an experience.
So look for the Angel Tree.
Yes.
You'll see those again around town as well.
Yep.
Thank you for what you're doing, and we wish you well in the ministry.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us.
Sure thing. Ricky Cook and also Captain Travis Payne. I'm Dan Ramey. Thanks for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.